Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, and welcome to let's call this a retrospective. We're almost to the new year, guys. We're almost to 2023. And as we're getting closer to the new year, I thought it'd be nice to take a look back, take a look at some of the accomplishments and failures that we had last year in 2022, because I think that by understanding what we've done well and what we've done poorly, we can better ourselves for the coming year. So if you'd permit me and be willing to walk with me a little bit, let's take a look back at some of the accomplishments that we achieved in 2022. Before we get started, don't forget to support the channel. I'm always happy to receive any support you guys give, be it just viewing my videos or financial donations or going to my Teespring store and getting merchandise. Anything really helps out. You can find links to everything in the description below. Thank you guys so much. Now, on to the video. So first of all, guys, let's just say it, we've made some huge strides in 2022. Based on the analytics that I've looked over, we have gained 8,783 subscribers in just this year. That's a huge leap, and we recently reached 27.3 thousand subscribers as of the making of this video. And as promised, since I said that if we made 27.2 thousand, I would do a video with my face revealed answering questions. We will be doing that next month, so look forward to that. Also, in terms of just revenue, I've made over $6.8 thousand in just YouTube revenue alone. That's not including what I've made from you guys who donate by being a patron on Patreon or buying merchandise on the Teespring store. Guys, you know, not a lot of people are lucky enough to be able to make money off of YouTube, and I really just appreciate what you guys have done and really helped me do with this channel. This is a huge thing. I'm very proud of it, and you guys should be proud too, because I couldn't do this without you guys, so thank you so much. But aside from just that, we completed Heroes in History, and now I'm able to do them whenever a new hero comes out, so that's a great thing to put away on the bucket list. We did it, you know, we managed to make it through that. We brought back Assassin's Creed Ranked this year, and we've been working through all the Assassin's Creed games. We haven't finished them yet. We're still working on Origins and Odyssey as we speak. It's a slow process, but I hope to get it done maybe January, February. We started a new series called Story Sharing, which is awesome. I get to talk to you guys about my books and stories and about things that I'm really proud of in terms of my writing. We've started the Execution Graded series. It's a slow series, but I'm proud of it. It's something cool that I get to do and something unique to my channel. We started the Warhammer Crash Course series, a long requested series where I talk about Warhammer Fantasy and 40K, which is fun for me. I hope it's fun for you guys. And we brought in the How to Build series where I get to share with you guys how I construct characters. All of these have been awesome additions to the channel. It's been so much fun to work on, so many cool new ideas. And you know, I think the best part of it all, guys, is the biggest accomplishment is I have found a great way to share my faith more openly. I actually got a comment not long ago from someone saying, how many times is Raven going to bring up his faith in his videos? And I was very glad to see people come to my defense and say, you know what, it's something he can do. You know, it's something that Raven can do, and I'm glad to do it. It is my hope that I can use my channel to fulfill the Great Commission and share my faith with other people. And I would never demand that you follow me on that faithful walk. I would never ask you to, or force you rather, to become Christian. But I'm glad that I can be open about that with you guys, and y'all be so understanding and accepting of it. I can't say the same for a lot of people. There are so many people out there nowadays who would gladly rip me apart or tear me down or belittle me because of that. It's something horrible that we see nowadays for people of various backgrounds, faiths, and principles. So I thank you guys for your understanding. It's so huge, and I hope to continue to share my faith in all new and creative ways. If you ever have questions or concerns or comments about what I believe, I'm always happy to answer. People on the Discord ask me questions about it quite a lot, and of course I get questions about it on live streams all the time. I'm always happy to answer questions and talk about it. This has been such a fun experience for me. It's really brought light to what I do and who I am as a content creator, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. I feel so excited for what I've been able to do with this channel and all the new things that we're exploring and trying out. This has just been phenomenal, guys. But with all the accomplishments, there are a few regrets I have. There are a few things that we could do better. I think one of the biggest ones for me is there's just not enough time to do anything. I was born with this curse, especially when it comes to writing and storytelling, where I come up with so many wonderful ideas and so many cool concepts and plans, but there's no possible way I can do them all. Like, if I start off with Heroes in History, suddenly I come up with the Legend series, and then the Warhammer Crash Course, and then story sharing, and then this new idea, and that new idea, and this new idea. Like I said earlier that I wanted to do a series where I broke down the One Piece world. I still haven't started that. And I also said that I was going to start reading the Journey to the West book. I haven't started plotting that out either. I have all these wonderful ideas that I want to do. I'm very excited to do them, which is awesome because it means that I'll never run dry on ideas. But it does mean that they come so frequently that it means that sometimes some stories have to suffer or some ideas have to suffer for me to do them, or they just don't happen right away, which is a bummer. I do regret that there are so many ideas that I have come up with that I have not been able to push forward. That is a bummer. And I apologize to those of you who have been excited. Like, I've been asked quite frequently, when am I going to go back to the Crusaders Analyzed series? I don't know. I just don't know when that's going to happen. I hope to get back to it soon, but I honestly don't know. And there's more. There's been a lot of stallings in my writings lately, guys. Troy and Frost, Death's Diary, The Revenant King, all these stories that I share with you guys, I have not been able to work on lately. The Revenant King especially has hit with terrible hiatus. And Troy and Frost and Death's Diary, I just have not been able to focus on like I'd like. With all the new updates to For Honor and new games to try out and new questions and things to explore with the channel, I just have not had the time to sit down and really work on them, which is a bummer for me. But more than that, a bummer for you guys is that For Honor and Glory has met with so many holdups. If I recall, I think I only got done with about 5 or 6 chapters of that story this year. Man, I'm very disappointed in that because I've got the ending planned. It's not like I'm thinking it out going, oh no, what's going to happen next? I know what's going to happen next. I just have not had the time to sit down and write it out. It's all up here, guys. It's all in my head. I know you can't see it. I'm tapping my own head right now. And I hate that it's taking so long to get that done. I appreciate y'all's patience with it. And know that I do read your comments when y'all ask, hey, where's the next chapter? When are you going to work on the next chapter? I see them. I know they're there, and I apologize. I promise. I haven't forgotten it. It just takes time. And if there's another regret I do have, it is that there has been a slight rise in haters, which you can also see as a good thing. I think the larger you grow as a YouTube channel or a content creator, you're going to attract haters because there's always going to be people who disagree with you or think differently than you. And I think a lot of them came when I started doing response videos and execution graded videos. I've been getting more and more people who say that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I don't understand For Honor, that I don't understand the lore, that I don't understand battlefield tactics or historical weapons. I've had people say that I don't know the first thing about swordsmanship or stuff like that. It usually rolls off the shoulder. It just rolls off. I'm fine with it. Sometimes I'll give a snarky response back just to be, that level of moron. It's what I do, and it's a weakness of mine. And then with response videos, man, especially when they get political, I pray that they don't get political, but every now and then they do. Like whenever I respond to Wisecrack, I always find at least one person who says that I complain too much or that I'm just too big of a hater. I'm just so filled with hate. I try not to let that get to me. And I do want to clarify, it's not so much hate as it is just I have a passion for the truth. I want to share the truth. I want to share my understanding of things and be totally forthcoming. And it drives me crazy when I see people who I know are peddling in misinformation, particularly when these people are very popular. When I see people like Extra Credits, Wisecracked, or, anyone, Overly Sarcastic Productions included, anyone saying things that I know are either factually inaccurate or willingly misleading, that gets me riled up. That gets me very passionate because I hate when people spread misinformation. I want to be that other voice who adds something back, and sometimes I get overpassionate. That is a weakness, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But seeing a rise in haters is a little bit of a bummer. I don't like seeing dislikes on a video rise up for no adequate reason. And I've seen a few trolls pop up in my Discord server before that I've had to deal with. It's never fun, and I don't relish it. But at the same time, if having a few haters is the price to pay to becoming bigger and gaining a much larger and more supportive audience, then I'll take it. Because there are far more supporters than there are haters. I've had far more fans and dedicated community members than I have haters. And it's hard sometimes, if you haven't been there, then you don't know. But sometimes you could have tell me if you understand this in the comments. You could have 20 people in a day tell you you're awesome, and then one person tell you you suck, and you'll remember that person who said you suck far more quickly than you will the 20 people who said you're awesome. It's something about being human, you know. We tend to latch on to the negative, which is not a good thing. I do not recommend it. But it is what sometimes happens. Anyway, looking back on it, I have far more to be proud of this last year than I have to regret, and that's a great thing. So looking forward with our goals for the new year, what do I want to do with 2023? I don't have a full list or anything, but there are a few things I'd like to see happen. I'd really like to finish For Honor and Glory. I'd like to get that done. I know how I want to finish it. I'm probably a little over halfway done with it now. I'd like to go ahead and wrap it up. You know, I'd like to see that finished. I'd like to try to bring back the Crusader series if we could. I'd like to try to bring that back. I'd like to try to do that again, because there are things about the Crusades I'd like to talk about, especially since this new hero, not new hero, but new hero skin, Commander Ravier, has shown up. A lot of people have been telling me that, well, it makes sense that Commander Ravier would be a Christian symbolic knight attacking a Muslim city. Isn't that what the Crusaders did? And it made me realize people still don't quite know the full context of the Crusades. Maybe it's time to bring that series. I'd also really like, and just so y'all know, I'd really like to try to get 34 or 35,000 subs by the end of next year. By this time next year, I want to be sitting on 35,000 subs. Why? Because if I gained almost 7,000 subs this year, I'll bet we can do that many next year too. I'd like to see us grow with 7,000 more subs and get up to 34, maybe even 35,000 subs next year. And if we could go higher than that, that'd be awesome. But I'd like to see us grow. I know we can. I know there are plenty of people out there who would love to see my content, because I don't just do For Honor. I try to do a lot of different stuff to attract more people. I don't know what that says about me, but I'd like to see us grow some more. I'd like to be able to spread not only my knowledge and my experiences and my thoughts, but also my faith with more people. I'd also like to try to finish Nomad, the story. Nomad is a book that I've been writing with Jay for a while. I'm almost done. 2 chapters to go. So I'd like to wrap that up, and maybe we could publish it. I'll talk to Jay, see if he'd like to draw more of it. Maybe we could turn it into a graphic novel. Hey, Jay, shoot me up in the comments or on Instagram. We'll talk about it. Also, I'm thinking about doing some more cool stuff with the channel. 2 new games are coming out next year that I know about. In fact, early next year, One Piece Odyssey and Hogwarts Legacy. One Piece, anyone who knows me for a while now knows that I'm a huge fan of One Piece. Of course I'm going to pull out One Piece Odyssey and do some content on it. Of course I'm going to talk about One Piece Odyssey and, share my thoughts on it and talk a little bit about One Piece and about the characters in it and about why I like it. It might not be more than, maybe a few live streams here and there, but I'd like to play it some with you guys and sort of talk about One Piece with you guys if I could. And then Hogwarts Legacy. Oh my gosh. Look, guys, y'all know my thoughts on Harry Potter. Y'all know that I think it's a very overrated series. Y'all know that I think that the story is kind of garbage. The characters are kind of annoying. But if there is one thing I really like about Harry Potter, it is the school of Hogwarts and the world of Hogwarts. I really do like that. That's something I've always liked. And now that they're making a game where Harry Potter has nothing to do with it, it's all Hogwarts, and you make your own character to go into Hogwarts in the late 19th century. Oh, that's going to be fun. And it'll also be a really fun outlet to talk about why I think the world of Harry Potter is amazing, but the story of Harry Potter is crap. And I think this game will highlight that. So I'd love to make some content around that. That would be so much fun. But if there is really one thing that I really want to do next year, if I could, even if none of that happens, there is one thing. I've made some changes, guys, and this is probably the big reason I wanted to make this video. I've made some changes. For those of you who don't know, one of my big plans was I became a substitute teacher this year so that hopefully I could eventually work my way back into teaching, but in Japan. I wanted to become an English teacher in Japan. But I've been thinking about that, and I don't know if that's what I want to do. I'm still praying about it. I'm still meditating on this, but I've been thinking. I still feel the call to Asia, to Japan, to Korea, to China. But I don't know if I feel the call to teach, at least not in the educational sense. I get very passionate when I talk about my faith. Y'all can probably tell if you listen to the end of my live streams. I think God may be calling me to become a missionary, to mission in Japan, to help connect the people of Asia to God in a new and enlightening way. It's what I'm passionate about. The problem with that is that's not an easy thing to pursue, especially with the way things are in China right now. And Japan has its own unique issues with the faith. It's not that they're against it, far from it. It's that they don't think they need it. It's kind of this mentality of, hey, Christianity works out for you guys in the West, but it's not something we need to become successful. It's almost like they like it for the cosmetics of Christianity more than they like it for the meat of it, In Japan, you can be given a Shintoist birthing ritual, get married in a Christian church, and then have a Buddhist funeral. You can hit all your bases without ever really understanding what any of them mean. There are spiritual people in Japan, but they might not always be fully understanding. And I'd like to see that change if I could. There's nothing more dangerous than not understanding. And I want to help people understand. So what does that mean for me? What do I have to do? Well, it first means that I need to get there. I need to go to Japan. I need to see it. I need to be there for myself. Get immersed in the people. Get immersed in the culture. Get immersed more so in the language. I've been studying the language and culture, but I need to really be involved in it. And by becoming involved in it, I might be able to learn better how I can help, what I can do, what I can offer, and what they in turn can offer me. That means I need to make money, and fast. And the best way I can think of to do that is to get out of substitute teaching and go into full-time employment at possibly a local hotel or restaurant or someplace where I can get benefits and money in a more steady, long-term basis. And of course, YouTube is a source of income. I'm not poo-pooing that. And I'm going to do a lot more on YouTube to try to help that income come in. And again, everything you guys do to support me on YouTube is phenomenal, and I really appreciate it. And I'm still going to be active on YouTube, but I've been thinking a lot about my future, and this is something I'm very passionate about. So in the year 2023, what I want to see happen is I want to see my life make a major upturn. I want to see myself become a better man and a better Christian. As I'm recording this, I'm seeing the last hour of my 30th birthday pass away. I'm 30 years old. I am honored to be this old. I am honored to have made it this year, and I want to see myself do incredible things at this age and with this next decade of my life. I want to get married if I can, but that may not happen this year. More to the point, I'm excited for what next year has to offer. There were a lot of things that happened this year that I'm proud of and not so proud of, but the things that can happen this year, there's no telling. And I am excited and honored that so many of you will be joining with me. So if I'm going to improve myself, what are the things I need to improve? Well, first of all, I need to be more attentive to my own Teespring store and to my audience. I don't visit it nearly as often as I should. And my Patreon page, if those of you who are my patrons, I really appreciate you, because nothing really happens on my Patreon page. I should be there more often. I should add more stuff. That's something I need to check on. I need to also watch my own itchy response finger. I have this bad habit. I mentioned this earlier. I have this bad habit of being snarky and sarcastic. Like if someone writes a rude comment or trolls me on Discord, I have this bad habit of putting my feelings on my shoulder and, writing back, a very angry or very sarcastic message to kind of go, gotcha. I shouldn't have that mentality. I need to maintain a positive outlook, a positive disposition, a positive approach to things. That's the Christian way to do it. That's the right way to do it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a sort of joking, sarcastic response. That's not the problem. My problem is I become hostile or defensive when there's no need to be. So I need to watch myself on that. And that goes for my response videos too. Sometimes I get way too impassioned in my response videos. So I need to watch myself on that. And my community on Discord, please keep me honest. If you feel like I'm being too hostile about something or being too thin-skinned or anything of that nature, don't hesitate to tell me. I'll try to take it all in good faith. Lark certainly does. He always checks with me. He'll say, hey, Raven, I feel like you could approach this differently, or I feel like you don't need to say this. Like, there are times I need to be checked. It helps to have people like that, And more than anything, I want to have that positive attitude. Just having a positive attitude about things. Not one of the reasons I made this channel in the first place was to have a positive attitude about For Honor. To approach For Honor in an upbeat and positive attitude. Because I saw so much negativity towards the game. And I wanted to be a voice of, hey, I still think it's good. The absolute, I still like this game. I still love it. And people came to me because of that positive attitude. So now I need to have it in other things. In my Dead by Daylight analysis, in my Rainbow Six cringe videos, in my response videos, in everything. I should have a positive attitude. As my father would tell me all the time, you can't control the circumstances of your life, but you can control your attitude. You can control how you approach it. Your attitude is a choice you make. And so you can choose to walk through every day of your life with a chip on your shoulder and angry at the world, or you can choose to walk through life positively. That's a choice I need to make and keep making more often. And I'll also say this, I'm going to try not to beg anymore. These last few months, I feel like I begged a bit too much. I feel like I was pushing a little too hard for people to go to my Patreon or to my Teespring store. I shouldn't have done that, you know? I appreciate all that you do, but no need for that. Y'all being a part of my community is more than enough, and I thank you so much for it. Now let me go ahead and wrap up this video with just a few updates so that you know. My January update video, first month of 2023, will be coming out probably January 2nd. I'm going to try to get that out because there's a lot I want to talk about with what's coming in January, so we will have that update video coming. Lark's Lamentation, The Heresy of Eden's Gate, is also coming. Might come out New Year's Day, might come out New Year's Eve, we don't know yet. We're going to try to get it out as soon as we can. In fact, it may come out on the same day that this video comes out. We don't know yet. We've had some technical difficulties trying to put that together, so we don't quite know. But trust me when I say, Lark is very proud of how it's come out. We were happy to put it together, and I make a few cameos. I get to say a few things. Yay! It was kind of fun, honestly. I want to try and get another For Honor and Glory chapter out soon. I want to get the next For Honor Legend out. I've been advertising that for, 2 months now, and I still haven't gotten it done? Come on, Raven, you can get it together. I also want to share something with you guys, a little bit of something interesting. Some of y'all were asking, what stories did I write for my Christmas gifts? Because I said that because I'm low on funds, I didn't buy a lot of gifts for Christmas. I wrote stories for people who asked for them. And so I wrote a bunch of stories, and all of them are now available on my DeviantArt account, so you can read all of them. For my friend Aaron, I wrote a new chapter of Shogun of Crime, which is available on one of my DeviantArt accounts. For my friend Jay, I wrote a new short story for a picture he drew called Kakume no Hitotachi, which is a cool Japanese name to go with a really cool science fiction post-apocalyptic style story that he asked me to write. It's really cool, and Jay, thank you for the opportunity to write that. That was great. For Hannah, I wrote a new chapter of Witch's Pilgrimage, a little gift story that I've started making for her that I've been working on for the last year or so, and she's really enjoyed the story. I hope that you guys might give it a watch, and I will eventually do a story sharing on it as well. And for Lark, I wrote a new chapter of a new story called Wraith Riders, which I have not shared with you guys yet, but once it gets its own art and maybe a little bit further in, I'll gladly share it with you guys. In fact, I might even read a chapter to you guys on the channel if you'd be so inclined. It's a really cool story, basically a supernatural thriller with a Western twist. Oh man, it's kind of fun writing this. And Jay and Hannah have all been a part of this. And for my parents, for my mother and father, all they asked for was a story of my own creation where there was a happy ending. I wrote them a 4-part story called A Faithful Heart. All 4 parts are on one deviation that you can see on one of my DeviantArt accounts. And who knows, maybe one day I will read it out loud for you guys on the channel too if you'd like. Let me know in the comments section if that's something you'd like to see me do. Well, I have been going for quite a while now, almost 30 minutes, I think. Thank you guys, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, for helping make this year so fascinating. I know that a lot of stuff has gone down. We've had the World Cup. We've had some crazy stuff with Ukraine and Russia, which we won't go into right now. We've had some stuff in the nation of the United States, around the world. Good stuff, but bad stuff too. And I'm not here to go into all that. I'm not here to be a mully grub. I'm here to say this. 2022 was a really awesome year for the channel. It was a very interesting and entertaining year for Honor. And you guys were a large part of that for me. For those of you who look up to me, I want you to know part of the reason I can make videos and do what I do is because of people like you. Not just when you donate, that's part of it, but by leaving comments, by joining my Discord, by talking to me, by being involved. Sorry about that, my Discord went off. I forgot to mute it. That's integrated editing there. I can't, I'm smiling right now. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm smiling very big right now. Because I'm thinking about all the great things we've done this year. And you guys got to be a part of it. I'm glad that you got to be a part of it. I can't wait to see what happens next year. The Raven Knight channel has been fantastic. And even though Christmas time and birthday times can be a little iffy for me, I can't be unhappy. I am so blessed. I am truly, truly blessed. And I thank God for what y'all can allow me to do and what He's allowed me to do with this channel. Let's keep making it awesome, guys. I look forward to the next year and for the next update video. But until then, everybody, I will see you in my next video. Take care.